One night in Medina, a man named Abu Huraira was guarding the storehouse of zakat. In the darkness, a figure appeared and began stealing. Abu Huraira caught him, held him tight, and the thief said something extraordinary. "Let me go, and I will teach you something that will protect you from every harm forever." Abu Huraira released him. The next morning, the Prophet asked, "What did your prisoner do last night, O Abu Huraira?" Abu Huraira told the story. The Prophet smiled, and then said something that has echoed through 400 years of Islamic history. "He told you the truth, even though he is a liar. What he taught you was Ayatul Kursi." Was not a man. That thief was Shaitan himself. And even the devil knows, even he had to admit, that one verse stands above every other verse in the entire Quran. Today we're going to go inside this verse, word by word, meaning by meaning. By the time this video ends, you will never recite Ayatul Kursi the same way again. Ayatul Kursi is verse 255 of Surah Al-Baqarah. It is known as the throne verse in English. And it holds a title that no other verse in the Quran holds. The greatest verse that Allah ever revealed. Not my words, the words of the Prophet Muhammad himself. One day the Prophet asked his companion Ubay ibn Ka'b, "O Abu al-Mundhir, which verse in the Book of Allah is the greatest?" Ubay paused. Then he answered, "Ayatul Kursi." The Prophet placed his hand on Ubay's chest and said, "Congratulations on your knowledge, O Abu al-Mundhir. By the one in whose hand is my soul, this verse has a tongue and two lips, and it glorifies the king next to the leg of the throne." Sahih Muslim 10 Nakwal. The scholars of Islam have identified a remarkable fact. Ayatul Kursi mentions the names of all more than any other single verse in the Quran. 17 times in one verse, it mentions 6 of Allah's greatest attributes: His oneness, Wahdaniyya, His life, Haya, His knowledge, Ilm, His kingdom, Mulk, His power, Qudra, and His will, Irada. No other verse does this. It is in a single passage the most complete picture of Allah ever given in words.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
English translation, Sahih International. Allah, there is no deity except Him, the ever-living, the sustainer of existence. Neither drowsiness overtakes Him nor sleep. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth. Who is it that can intercede with Him except by His permission? He knows what is before them and what will be after them, and they encompass not a thing of His knowledge except for what He wills. His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth, and their preservation tires Him not, and He is the Most High, the Most Great. Allah, there is no deity except Him. This is the foundation of everything. Not just God exists, but there is no God except this one. It's not a gentle suggestion, it's a declaration. The Arabic word la, L-A-A, means an absolute negation, a complete no that eliminates every alternative, every rival, every false claim to divinity. Everything else in this verse builds on this one truth. The ever-living, the sustainer of existence, the pairing of Al-Hayy, Al-Hayy, and Al-Qayyum, Al-Qayyum, appears only 3 times in the entire Quran. In Ayatul Kursi, 2:255, Surah Al-Imran, 3:2, and Surah Taha, 20:111. Its rarity is not accidental. Al-Hayy, the ever-living. Allah's life is perfect, eternal, and unlike any created life. He was never born. He will never die. Every living thing on earth depends on Him for its life. Al-Qayyum, the self-sustaining sustainer. Right now, this very second, Allah is actively holding existence together. Every created thing depends on Him for its continued existence from moment to moment. If His sustaining action ceased for an instant, creation would collapse into nothingness. Think about that. The fact that you're still breathing, the fact that your heart is still beating, the fact that the universe hasn't simply stopped is because Al-Qayyum has not stopped sustaining it. Neither drowsiness overtakes Him nor sleep. Every human being, no matter how powerful, eventually needs to rest. Kings sleep, armies sleep, nations sleep. But here Allah is declaring something that no human being can claim. I never tire. I never drift. I never stop watching. The Arabic is precise. It mentions sinatun, sina, drowsiness, before naum, sleep. This sequence matters. Drowsiness comes before sleep. Allah is saying not only does He not sleep, He doesn't even feel the beginnings of tiredness. There is not one second in the history of the universe when Allah's attention slipped, not one moment when you were unguarded, not one night when He forgot you. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth. Everything, your house, your bank account, your health, your family, the mountain ranges, the ocean floors, the stars you can't see, none of it belongs to you. None of it belongs to any government, any empire, any billionaire. It all belongs to Him. This isn't a threat, it's a relief. Because if everything belongs to Him, then He can give and take from it as He wills. And He wills only what is ultimately best. Who is it that can intercede with Him except by His permission? This phrase was a direct response to the polytheists of Mecca who believed their idols could intercede for them, lobby on their behalf before God. Allah is answering, no prophet, no angel, no saint, no stone, no ancestor. No one approaches Allah on your behalf without His explicit permission. Al-Tabari explains no one intercedes with Him except by His permission as a direct refutation of the Makkan polytheists who claim their idols interceded for them. This is not a closed door. It is a reminder that the door opens only by His grace. And the Prophet Muhammad will intercede on Judgment Day, but only because Allah permits it. He knows what is before them and what will be after them. Every secret you've kept, every thought you never shared, every moment that happened before you were born, every moment that will happen after you die. Allah knows all of it, not in the way a surveillance camera knows, but with complete, perfect, loving awareness. He knows your past mistakes, and still chose to give you today. They encompass not a thing of His knowledge except for what He wills. Every scientist, every philosopher, every genius in human history, all of human knowledge combined is a single drop compared to the ocean of what Allah knows. And even that drop, He gave it. This verse is humbling not to crush you, but to free you. You don't have to understand everything. He does, and He's in control. His Kursi extends over the heavens and the earth. The Kursi, translated as throne or footstool, literally Al-Kursi means the footstool, but here the word Kursi represents the throne of Allah, symbolizing His vast dominion and knowledge. Now listen to this. The Prophet said, "The 7 heavens and 7 earths compared to the Kursi are like a ring thrown in a desert." And the Kursi itself, compared to the Arsh, the throne of Allah, is like that same ring in that same desert. Let that land. Everything you've ever seen, everything you've ever imagined, every galaxy captured by our most powerful telescopes, all of it fits inside something that is itself smaller than a ring compared to Allah's throne, and their preservation tires Him not. Right now, billions of hearts are beating, trillions of cells are dividing, planets are orbiting, galaxies are spinning, children are being born. Every prayer in every language is being heard. And not one of these things, not a single one, places any burden on Allah. Not even the weight of a feather, no fatigue, no effort, no strain. This is Al-Qayyum in action, the sustainer who sustains without needing to rest. And He is the Most High, the Most Great, Al-Ali, the Most High, Al-Azim, the Most Great. These are not just titles, they are the conclusion of the entire verse. After telling us who He is, after describing His life, His knowledge, His ownership, His sovereignty, Allah ends with the simplest, most complete statement: He is high, He is great. Everything else in the verse was the evidence. This is the verdict. Now I want to share with you 3 extraordinary stories connected to this verse. This is the story I began with. But let me give you the full version. Abu Huraira, radiyallahu anh, was appointed to guard the zakat storehouse. 3 nights in a row, a figure came and stole from the food. Each night, Abu Huraira caught him. Each night, the thief was released after promising to return no more. Each night, he returned. On the 3rd night, the thief said, "Release me, and I will teach you words that will benefit you greatly." "What are they?" asked Abu Huraira. The thief replied, "When you go to your bed, recite Ayatul Kursi to its end. Allah will appoint a guardian over you, and no shaitan will come near you until morning." Abu Huraira released him and went to the Prophet. The Prophet smiled and said, "He told you the truth, even though he is a liar. That was shaitan." Sahih Bukhari 23:11. Shaitan himself, the enemy of every human soul, taught a Muslim the protection against himself, because even he cannot deny the power of Ayatul Kursi. The Prophet said, "Whoever recites Ayatul Kursi after every obligatory prayer, nothing stands between him and entering paradise except death." Tabarani, authenticated by Al-Albani. Think about what that means. You don't need to climb a mountain. You don't need to perform a miracle. 5 prayers, 5 recitations, every single day. And the only door left to cross is the one that every soul will cross anyway. The companion Ali ibn Abi Talib, radiyallahu anh, narrated, "I do not think that a person who has reached the age of reason can spend the night without reciting Ayatul Kursi." He said this after the Prophet taught him its virtues. The generation closest to the Prophet, they treated this verse like a shield. They didn't recite it carelessly. They recited it with full presence, full understanding, full conviction. We live in a world that is loud, anxious, and exhausting. People are searching for protection from stress, from fear, from the unknown. Therapists, medication, meditation apps, productivity systems. And yet, 400 years ago, a verse was revealed that addresses the deepest root of all anxiety, the feeling that no one is watching, no one is in control, no one cares. Ayatul Kursi dismantles every one of those fears, word by word. No deity except Him. There is a God, and He is one, not fragmented. Never sleeps. He is always watching over you. To Him belongs everything. Everything is in His hands, not random. He knows what is before and after. Your future is not unknown to Him. Their preservation tires Him. Keeping you safe costs Him nothing. This verse was written for anxious human beings. Before we close, here is exactly when and how to use Ayatul Kursi. To 1. Recite once. The Prophet promised through the hadith of Abu Huraira, "A guardian from Allah will protect you through the night, and shaitan cannot come near you until morning." 2. Recite once. The narration states that between you and paradise, the only barrier remaining is death itself. 3. Recite once. The scholars report a promise of protection for you, your family, and your home throughout the day. 4. Recite it slowly with meaning. Let each phrase land. Feel the weight of He never sleeps, and their preservation tires Him not. 5. Part of the morning adkar, remembrance. Recite it as part of your morning routine. The entire morning becomes protected. I want to leave you with one thought. Shaitan, the creature who has spent thousands of years trying to lead humanity astray, was so certain of the power of Ayatul Kursi that he taught it to a Muslim himself. He couldn't deny it. He couldn't hide it. He knew that a person who truly understands and recites this verse is beyond his reach. The next time you recite Ayatul Kursi, don't rush through it. Pause on every phrase. Say, Allah, there is no deity except Him. And let yourself feel what that means. There is one power in the universe, one who never sleeps, one who knows everything about you, one whose preservation of you never tires him. You are not forgotten. You are not unguarded. You are not alone. That is Ayatul Kursi. That is the greatest verse Allah ever revealed. If this video touched your heart, share it with one person who needs protection tonight. Subscribe, because next week we're going inside Surah Al-Fatiha in a way you've never heard before. And before you leave, drop A in the comments if you recite Ayatul Kursi every night. Let's see how many of us are protected together. Assalamu alaikum. May Allah protect you and your family always.